I always thought their food was good. I never saw anything strange.
The owner of a North Spokane sushi restaurant said he fired 2 employees after a now viral video showed improper food handling there. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Good afternoon. I'm Whitney Ward. QQ Sushi and Kitchen remains closed today. That's where we find KREM 2's Amanda Rowley right now, live from this evening with more from the owner. Amanda?
Mark and Whitney, I talked to QQ Sushi owner Bao Zhang today off camera. He wouldn't elaborate on why he decided to fire 2 of his employees, but he tells me he's been a part of the restaurant business for about 30 years and considers his employees family. Now, he also told me he and his employees met with health inspectors at the restaurant today. Spokane Regional Health District officials tell me an inspection is required after complaints are filed against a restaurant. Now, they say the owner has already taken steps to address food safety complaints stemming from the now viral videos. Today, I saw several people show up to eat at the restaurant, but they were turned away. One customer told me she would go back if health inspectors give the restaurant the all clear.
I always thought their food was good. I never saw anything strange.
So do you think you'll come back if they're given the all clear?
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know about all the hoopla stuff before, so yeah, I'll definitely go back.
Even though they've had some
haven't
issues in the past?
I haven't seen those videos. Maybe I should check them out.
Now, the owner said he was shocked to see the news about his restaurant on the news. Yesterday, we confirmed the restaurant has a history of health violations, including inadequate hand washing facilities and raw meat not being stored properly. Now, it's not unusual, though, for restaurants to have some health violations, but QQ Sushi is just getting a lot of attention on this because of the viral videos. Now, when I asked the owner about those past violations, he says whenever inspectors found an issue, he would fix it. Now, most of the afternoon, I saw owners and the owner and several employees coming and going from the restaurant. They have been doing so just within the last hour. At this time, it's unclear when and if the restaurant will reopen. Reporting in North Spokane, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Amanda, thank you very much. All right, to the weather. Another beautiful day here in the inland Northwest.
Kind of loving that the sunshine is still out there.
Goodness,
Another
yes,
beautiful
fantastic.
sunset. We've been tracking maybe, though, light snow here in the next couple of days. Quite a difference. So Tom Sherry's here with an update on all that. Tom?
Yeah, the important thing to remember is that we've got one more dry day on the way. We had a beautiful Monday, beautiful Tuesday, and we should get a pretty beautiful Wednesday, and then we'll get the wet weather returning. There's a look at the latest satellite and radar, and as you can see, not much cloud cover across eastern Washington. More clouds, though, in northern Idaho and western Montana. We'll look for partly cloudy skies overnight with a low of 25 degrees, 41 the expected high tomorrow. Some areas north of us, Deer Park, possibly Loon Lake, up in around Chewelah and Colville, you may get quite a bit of fog tomorrow. That may be harder to burn off the cloud cover, but I think we'll burn it off here in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, and we'll look for a high of 41 degrees. For the weekend, I've got showers in the form of rain and snow on Saturday with a high of 40, 32 the low Sunday morning, then a daytime high of 40. Also, could see wind and rain and snow showers at times. We'll track the rest of your 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Good, Tom. Thank you very much. A North Idaho nursing home is being punished by the state for several violations. Investigators found that some seniors at the home weren't protected from abuse or they weren't properly supervised.
KREM 2's Taylor Vido is live now in Pinehurst, Idaho, where that home is located. He's joining us with more on what investigators have found. Taylor?
Well, Whitney, Mark, this all started after the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare received a complaint about what was going on here at Pacifica Senior Living in Pinehurst. Online records show several small violations and then violations, what the state calls core issues, some of those including failing to protect people here from abuse. Following a complaint, health and welfare records show that state investigators conducted an investigation at Pacifica Senior Living early last month. Online, the senior home describes itself as specializing in different levels of care, including assisted living and memory care. After visiting on January 10th, state investigators found some minor violations and larger ones. Specifically, there were 31 non-core issues ranging from employees not having up-to-date background checks and a licensed nurse at times not being at the home. But then there are 7 core issues which appear to be much more significant. Notably, investigators wrote that Pacifica failed to protect 4 female residents from sexual abuse. The report details instances of residents making advances towards staff and other seniors at the home. It says, quote, "The administrator failed to conduct an investigation of sexual abuse after it was reported by staff members." Additionally, investigators found that Pacifica didn't properly watch over residents at the home. The facility allowed unlicensed staff members to make medical decisions and didn't properly care for others. Online records show Pacifica is now under temporary management, has a provisional license, and can accept new residents. As of last week, the home's administrator, who had worked there since 2018, had left. Now, I did both email and call Pacifica for comment regarding this story. However, at this hour, I'm still waiting to hear back. Live in Pinehurst, Taylor Vito, KREM 2 News.
Well, millions of dollars in school levies are now up for a vote today in 2 separate districts. So that includes 2 in the East Valley School District, the Education and Operations Levy, which would renew for 4 years. That would cover everything from extracurricular activities to updates in technology. Then the Capital Levy would renew for 2 years, covering infrastructure needs like construction plans for 4 new parking lots at elementary schools.
Meantime, the Central Valley School District is hoping to add another school resource officer to its schools. The school district currently has 2 resource officers. District leaders are allotting about $100,000 from that proposed $11 million levy to pay for the officer's salary and equipment.
And we also want to tell you about some new technology that we just got here at KREM 2. It's pretty cool, and it's going to make it easier for us to give you the latest information. So tonight, when you're looking for the election results, all you have to do is text the word elections to our number 509-448-2000. Again, 448-2000, and we'll send you a link to the latest election results. By the way, keep in mind those numbers won't be updated until about 8:30 tonight.
So again, that number is 509-448-2000. It's at the bottom of your screen right there. We also encourage you to save our number in your phone. That way you can text us at any time. It's kind of a cool feature.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it.
Well, it is primary day in New Hampshire. Voters there weighing in on who they want to be the Democratic nominee for president.
So polls right now showing Senator Bernie Sanders, who won the New Hampshire primary in 2016, in the lead again, followed by former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar has now surged here in the last few days, so she is now placing 3rd in some polls by appealing to New Hampshire's many independents. Joe Biden made his pitch to the state's moderates, but now says he's only mildly hopeful about his chances there.
The rest of the nation is out there. There's an awful lot of electoral votes to be had.
Meantime, President Donald Trump also had many supporters drumming up support in New Hampshire today, including Senators Lindsey Graham and Rick Scott. The president won New Hampshire's Republican primary in 2016, but narrowly lost the state in the general election. The last time New Hampshire voters picked the eventual Democratic presidential nominee was in 2004.
The World Health Organization has now given the coronavirus an official name. It is COVID-19. So the group also began a 2-day summit in Geneva to better understand the virus that has now sickened more than 43,000 people and killed more than 1,000, most of them in China.
So glad to be out. I mean, it's been a long journey getting here, but it's just really nice to be finally out and getting home.
Nearly 200 evacuees from China quarantined for 14 days in Southern California are getting released today. CDC officials say there were no confirmed coronavirus cases there, but about 80 miles south at a military base in San Diego, an evacuee there is now the 13th confirmed case in the U.S. That person has been isolated and hospitalized. The CDC says the risk to Americans remains low, and recent research shows in many cases the virus is on par with the flu or cold in terms of severity.
It's an interesting natural phenomenon because it's something that's sort of like lightning, where it just happens that fast, and next thing you know, you're dealing with it.
Well, over the last 10 winters, an average of 27 people have died in avalanches here in the United States. This season, the deadliest incident so far happened here in our own backyard. It was in early January that avalanche on Silver Mountain killed 3 people and injured 4 more. So Mark, I know you wanted to see what goes into preventing tragedies at the ski resorts.
Yeah, so I met up with the executive director of the Idaho Panhandle Avalanche Center. Jeff Thompson is his name. He also teaches avalanche survival courses and is a member of the snow safety team at Schweitzer Mountain. So every day, he and his team, they analyze the forecast, measure the water content in the snow, and often use explosives to intentionally trigger avalanches when the resort is closed to help stabilize the snow there. It's all part of an effort, again, to stabilize that snow.
Avalanches happen all the time at ski areas. It's usually when we're closed and when ski patrol is in a controlled environment to mitigate the hazard. But sometimes Mother Nature, has a mind of her own, and no matter how much we think we can control that and do what we can to make it not happen, there's always the chance. Avalanches are an inherent risk of the sport.
So you can catch my full report on predicting avalanches and mitigating the risks coming up tonight on KREM 2 News at 6 o'clock.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, looking forward to sharing the story for sure. All right, a pro soccer team could be coming to Spokane. That is the latest push from Spokane County Treasurer Michael Baumgartner. He is urging the school board to reconsider its plan to replace Joe Albee Stadium.
Yeah, Baumgartner claims that building a stadium downtown would actually save taxpayers $2 million. And as KREM 2's Brandon Jones reports, he's hoping the allure of a pro team can sway the school board.
The pressure to bring a stadium downtown is beginning to pick up. Just this morning, a press conference was held inside of the Wonder Building saying if a stadium is brought downtown, then a United Soccer League professional team could be joining them as well.
This community is a prime, fantastic community to have professional soccer.
This morning, Spokane County Treasurer Michael Baumgartner continued his push to build a new stadium in downtown Spokane. This time, bringing with him the chief operating officer of the United Soccer League. Together, they held a press conference to pitch their plan.
Spokane's a city on the rise, USL is a league on the rise, and I think coming together, Spokane can have one of the top professional soccer teams in the country.
Baumgartner wants the Spokane Public School Board to reconsider its decision to replace Joe Albee Stadium at its current site. He says building a smaller stadium on the north side of the Spokane River is more cost-effective and a better fit for the growing downtown core.
I mean, this is something that will work for taxpayers, it'll work for parents and students first, and it'll work for our economy.
But not everybody's on board with this proposal. Mary Alberts lives downtown and worries a stadium would only add to the congestion.
If you put in a stadium, what is that going to be like for the parents who are now enjoying ample parking, free parking over at Joe Albee?
Before any decision is made, the newly elected school board would have to decide whether to stay with the current plan to replace Albee or consider Baumgartner's plan. The county treasurer is hoping the allure of a professional soccer team will make the idea more appealing.
Nothing will happen downtown unless it's a win-win for our entire community.
In Spokane, Brandon Jones, KREM 2 News.